You can be who you want to be, irrespective of what the society is trying to design for you. You need to tell yourself, this is what I want to be. My sister, go and see girls who are on drugs, who are because they feel they are failure. They believe that they cannot meet it. So also is the men. Why are we having youth on the streets? Because people are getting out of them.
Yeah.
They're making hell of money out of them. They give them drugs and all that. You recently saw, I don't know, it's strange now, a young boy of probably about 5 years doing bus conductor.
So 5 years.
5 years doing Oshodabi, where he was shouting Oshodabi.
Child abuse.
No, we are talking in child abuse. And so the person took the time. And for me, that's what I want to see. Looking at the society and trying to put a solution. The guy followed that 5-year-old boy to see the mother sitting down and say, why would you be raising the number of children you cannot take care? Do you understand? Because the man has the tendency to have, in the 776 local government, he can have wives.
Abuse.
And nothing is wrong with it.
Yes.
And then you, woman, you cannot decide that, okay, since this is one, it's only 2 or 1. You are looking for a boy or a girl. What for?
Welcome to a new episode of Insight with Agatha, where you get to share a problem with Auntie Agatha. When is a relationship worth saving? And when is it time to say bye-bye to that relationship?
Goodbye.
Well, my name remains Agatha.
And I am Uji. Alaya, welcome to the show.
And I'm Wanzi Collins, aka Dire Gold, new kid on the block. Let's have some fun like we always do.
Okay, let's go on a short break. Welcome back from that break. Moji.
We have a particularly interesting issue at hand. You know, the lady wants us to tell her how she can get a guy. But before we talk about this issue, I would like us to welcome our guest. She's a special person, a woman with a heart of gold. She is an activist. She fights for the rights of women. She runs an NGO. She's quite busy, and that is the reason she has a particular name that we'll call her, but I won't call that name. So I just want to say that, please, viewers at home, join me in welcoming Mrs. Bose Ironsi to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you
welcome.
for coming.
Welcome.
We appreciate your presence here today. So back to the issue at hand. I would like just to read the story, the letter the lady wrote. She said, "Dear Agatha, I'm 33 years of age and currently pursuing a master's program. I've never been lucky when it comes to relationships. I actually thought my current relationship would be different from the others in that we have been together for quite a while. I started dating him the month I finished my first degree about 4 years ago. He broke up with me last year for reasons best known to him and came back 9 months after a total lack of communications to beg for the continuation of our marriage. So he takes sabbatical now. He can't come back. Okay now. Well done, dear. Well done,
sabbatical.
He takes sabbatical. Despite his behavior, I decided to go back to him because no relationship was perfect. I certainly wasn't, given the many challenges we experienced before he broke up with me. I realized my love for him after he came back into my life. When I went back for my master's program and had no accommodation in the hostel due to late registration, I didn't think twice moving in with him at his apartment. You didn't think twice. Maybe that was a big mistake, you think? Because many things started to happen between us. We will quarrel and not talk to each other for days, refusing to eat together as well as ignoring completely the existence of each other. This got me thinking, and I realized that, just like before, he never apologizes for his mistakes. I have always been the one trying to mend the relationship, even when he's clearly at fault. While still pondering on this aspect of our relationship, he came out about 2 days ago to wish me luck in my next relationship. Wow.
So you have given up.
Wow. Just come and say. According to him, he has come to the conclusions that we're not meant to be. You don't chop up or finish. You say you are not meant to be. I pity you. It really hurts because all I wanted was a little bit of seriousness and commitment from him. I had envisaged a situation where we would exchange visits to each other's family after 4 years of dating. Instead, he's blaming me for everything that is wrong in our relationship. I feel so sorry for myself and don't know what to do. Another thing that constantly baffles me about our relationship has to do with his usual responses to queries from his family and friends on his wedding plans. Irrespective of my presence, he will tell them he hasn't made up his mind as he's trying to be careful not to make a mistake. For 4 years, boy, you're trying to be careful. Hey, yeah, he said he doesn't want to make a mistake in his choice of a partner. This has always raised within me the question of whether he is seeing someone else. I also keep wondering if he sees me as a mistake in his life. Apart from Agatha, even though I feel he doesn't love or value me, I still feel bad he is sending me out of his life. Why do I feel this way, given all the hurtful things he has done to me? How do we? So, well, that is the letter. So, what do we tell this person, and how do we help her to get her man back?
A man that says he no longer wants her.
So what does she really want? Did she state what she wanted?
How do I get him back? How do I get him
that's
to
what
change,
she asked.
to change his decision? Yeah.
Do you want me to say something about
Madam,
that?
yes, that's
definitely. That's why
Okay,
you're here.
first of all, I think that there's always this misconception about relationship. It takes two to tango.
Yeah.
From the story you have read, she is the one that is interested in the
She's
man.
the one
And the man is not interested in her. And most girls makes that mistake. And of course, again, you don't also blame them so much. It's because of the way they have socialized. We women are socialized to think that we must make relationship work, even when
it's not working.
There's obvious reasons that this relationship is not going to work. For crying out loud, that's a young lady who probably should be in a place where the man will come and adore her and want to marry her. But she is the one that's going to, always look for the man. Again, that's her choice. What does she want to do is also her choice. What does she want? Because the red flags are there that this relationship is not going to. You are shouting 4 years. There are people who have been in relationship 12, 15 years and they never. There is nothing that says that if you are in a relationship, it must end up in marriage. I think that's a misconception. And if you don't set your goals and your priority right, and you have a high expectation, don't expect anything. You can see where the thing is going into, and you are there expecting. So what does she really want us to tell her now? To say, okay, don't go to the man or go to the man. It's still her choice. He or she who wears the pinches and wears the shoe knows how it's pitching him or her. So she should know that relationship is not something that is going to work, except both of them are able to sit down and really talk about some of the issues that is. She's not telling us what is starting off the quarrel or the issues that brings conflict. Something must be responsible. Let me share an experience of a girl who was in a relationship, a trained pharmacist. So because this misconception I must marry from my state. I must do this and all that. So she got into this relationship with this guy. The guy is a medical doctor. Just like she also needing a place to stay. The doctor came to Lagos and wanted to stay somewhere to do his housemanship or residency. And they met this guy and all that. After a while, the doctor started noticing that, okay, this girl has, the way she walks, he doesn't like it. And so it irritates him. Meanwhile, they have done introduction. So I told the girl, I said, because I'm a marriage counselor, I've been doing that for 28 years in a church. I always try to open their eyes to the real realities of life. Don't be carried away by, oh, he's from my tribe, oh, he's a rich man, oh, he's this. Those things don't stand the test of time.
Okay.
What stands the test of time is the value that you place on each other. Sometimes money will go. So, and I told her, I said, okay, I just asked her a simple question. Do you want to marry this guy? I said, yes. How many times has he slapped you? He said, maybe twice or 3 times in a month he will slap me. I said, how long do you intend to marry this guy? He said, Mommy, I don't know. Maybe for the next 30 years or something. I said, so let's do the mathematics.
Yes, ma'am.
And by the time we did the mathematics, it was obvious that relationship was not going to work. And the guy called me. I said, what kind of a counselor are you? I didn't take decisions. I only opened my eyes to her that this is the reality. So if you are in a relationship and you are not happy, why should a man created by God make me unhappy?
And you.
Yeah.
Why? It goes to the men and women. Why would you be in a relationship and you are happy? Because at the end of the day, what we are seeing in the society today, you are managing. If children are in that environment, they learn to believe that is the way it is.
Exactly.
And then we are having malformed children on the street today because parents managed. I'm not saying marriage is not a good thing. It's a good thing, but it has to be. We have to respect one another. The girl child or the girl needs to know this is what I want, and the man also need to know, and they should be able to meet at a point. But when you are not meeting at a point, you have set a standard that is so high and it's difficult for her to cope with. I see cases every day. There is another man who believes that in his culture, a woman must put
water.
If he wants to eat, must neither give him the food and give him water to wash the hand.
That's obviously not.
It's happening, my brother. And I asked, wash. So when you finish, what do you still feed him? He said no. I said so he's not a baby. He's only a child who is still learning. He said, okay, my baby, wash your hand. So the lady was ill and she didn't do that. It was what brought them to my center. So these are factors. What are the values?
The lady was sick, so because she was sick, she
couldn't kneel down to give water,
and the thing became
the
problem in the marriage. Madam, why do especially women get attracted to men that maltreat them?
It's not intentional that they just see this man is mad. There's no maltreatment written on anybody's face. But the issue is that not attracted. They are not attracted to them because of their character. The man,
what is
a young man. Okay, so the young man. So the young man. Wait, hold on. The young man is handsome. He's doing well. He has his own. He's not showing his behavior. It's not the first day he just said, "Come, hey, I like you," and the guy said no, slapped, and they continue to no. It's going to take a long time of discovering what this person, and it's a character thing. The irony of all this behavior is that you can actually change this behavior. You can tell yourself, because it's a socialization process. Where were these children raised? So it's not the girls getting attracted to men who beat them. No, it's the women who is deciding to stay in a relationship that
the question is, for instance, that some women, they tell you that I like the way This man beats me.
Socialization.
He keeps beating her and she keeps staying.
And she sees it as love.
Yeah, and then some will go to say, he's not man enough for me.
Yes,
he's not,
he doesn't beat me.
Socialization.
you know.
So how do we change?
So we need to change the narrative. That's why you and I are here to say that is not it. One slap alone can send you to the other side, and he moved on his life. All right. So it's not that the man is not manly enough, neither is he grown up enough. It's just that we need to change that mindset that until he beats you, until he slaps you, before he's a man. In short, I don't understand that. We saw a case of this. What's that pastor? Osinachi.
Yeah.
She kept quiet for something. I used makeup to do all the things and make it look as if. So we are the children now. So what was the essence? Because you also see women saying, I am in this relationship because of the children. You are raising a generation of children who are not happy.
Who are battered.
So and you say you are there because of them. Go. And I think it's about this dependency thing too. The society will not respect women who probably move out of a relationship because they believe that if they move out of a relationship, they are not good enough. Nobody ever fought the man for his marriage failing. It's the woman.
Okay.
No, I just have, we are obviously trying to generalize the entire thing here. Let's even look at the story and see how we can help her. Now, what are we going to say to this woman? Because
okay, so let me tell you what I think we need to say. She needs counseling. She needs to interact with people who can tell her and probably open her eyes up to see the reality. You cannot be in a relationship where you are constantly
being battered.
No, not even battered. I mean, today you are switch on, the other day you are switch off. No, that's not the way human beings should work. And then what is that? What does she really want? What's her value? It's the value you place in yourself that will make others to value you. If you tell me that this flower vase is not beautiful, I would throw it away. But if you say you adore it, this is a very beautiful thing, I will help you to honor it.
Don't you think?
Let me come in here. Don't you think that the society too has a part to play in the, because I think this particular situation scenario is not really isolated. I know quite a number of people that are just like this. In fact, not only they are battered, not only that, they are even the ones spending their money on this particular guy that has not even married them and yet hoping again. Don't you think that the society has a role to play in the way some of our girls kind of hold on to this sort of relationship? Because you can see that she's holding on, she's still hoping against so, because that's why she's saying, how do I get it? Somebody don't tell you the worker, you say, how do I get him back? Don't you think that the society, number one, on one side, then number two, don't you think that I want to say our parents, our upbringing, our older generation, don't you think that they have done a lot of damage to the younger generation by giving them the impression that they should just continue to suffer until they enter into a marriage, because marriage is all in all.
So I want to say that these are two individuals that are socialized in different environments. Okay. All right? And it depends on what's the value. I still go back to the value that you place in yourself and what you want to see in another person. Why are you interested in a man? If it's probably to be able to give you money and that is what the value you want, so you take the other shit that is giving you. So in these circumstances, if you ask me, I will ask this girl, she need to interact with marriage counselor or a therapy that will able to
therapist.
That's what
a therapist.
Like she has a psychological problem.
She doesn't have a psychological problem. It's the issue about how do I deal with this situation as it is. Okay, so she needs people who are a bit experienced to sit her down to say exactly what do you want. Just like I told that lady, what exactly do you want? In many years, how do you see yourself in this relationship? If in 6 months you have been slapped 6 times, times it back. So how many times? So I think yes, there are cultural belief system. You know, there's this pressure. There's pressure on the girl child, on the girl. Get married. By the time she's 20 something, they're already counting, hey, 25, 28. Oh, before you know it, the pressure is not on the man as much on the girl. And so she wants to take anything just to accept it and let go. So the environment with which we are socialized, or the cultural belief system have impact on the way we perceive relationship. That is one.
So how do we liberate our girls from?
So it's very obvious. How do you liberate your daughters? Simple thing is to tell your daughter, put the right values in them. Well, I remember let me tell you.
When we do that,
parents, I remember when I was growing up.
What are the parents themselves? That's the
they need help.
They need help. So that's why.
So constantly, and that is why the socio-cultural system in the society need to hear this, need to understand. Number one, the family. Number two, the church. Number three, the schools. All right? And the larger society. If you give birth to a child, you are going to socialize that child through the family before you start going to school and going to church and all that. What are they telling us in the church? I'm using church because obviously that's my terrain. Do you understand? And every other thing. What do? You hear quoting like, you should be submissive. You should not do that. You should not do that. Nobody is saying marriage is not an interesting place. Okay? But you should respect my person as an individual. So these are the issues. That person, those mothers need help.
Yes. So
the children needs help. But let's specify on this case. She really needs to be able to interact with people. This thing you read in 10, how many minutes? It's been happening for 4 years.
Yes.
So we need to find out what are those, because if she doesn't resolve what is disturbing her, even if you go into another relationship,
it will still come
and continue.
Because she says she's not lucky in relationships.
So there are drawbacks.
There are things probably she's not doing right, or she's doing right. I remember when I was growing up, my sister told me, you must not be a liability to any man. The day I will hear that you are asking any man to give you money for sanitary towel, even if I'm dead, I will wake up and beat you. What did that do to me? That means I need to struggle to make sure I constantly fend for myself. Even if I now have to go and marry the Dangote of this world, the Dangote will know that this woman is not a liability. So, but when what you see, what you want to see is, hey, guy, is the trendy guy. Oh, he's the one that is really, he's his friends that is something. He's riding something. He's on Facebook. You get what follows that.
I know our girls, they just want money.
So what do they want money? There are some families that even at the age of 20, the girls are already the one fending the family.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? I think we need to change that mental set of always depending on our children, both male and female. I'm not saying it is not important, but it's important that they give back to us, but it is not
the most important.
And girls, you want to slay. You want to slay. You don't have money. You don't have money. You don't even have a means of livelihood. Meanwhile, you want to slay and wear 100,000.
I always tell girls,
and you say somebody will not slap you.
I don't know. No, you shouldn't. There is no excuse for slap.
Okay, then calling's coming.
We are all focusing on the lady, on the lady. I like to bring the balance to the picture, right? I like to take responsibility. Growing up, I was made to understand that you don't shift blames. Now, the story here, the man went on 9 months sabbatical and came back. I mean, why are you
playing with the girls'
emotions? Why are you playing with the girls' emotions? He clearly knows
what he's doing.
I mean, it's intentional. You date somebody for a short period, you go for 9 months, you come back, and then you stretch it for 4 years.
Somebody asks you, what of your marriage?
That is an irresponsible man. I'd like to say.
So do you want him to say he's sure? You want him to tell lies? He's the guy that is thinking about marriage.
I would say he's not man enough to sit down this lady and tell her, but, I mean, this is all this and it's not this.
Collins, I'm telling you that guy said he's not ready yet.
But he didn't say it.
Hold on. He has showed it with his behavior. What else you want to see?
Most times, I stand to be corrected.
Yes.
Ladies like it when you are upfront and personal. The green light thing, the sign thing is for the ladies. The talking thing is for the man. My point is, this man should have sat this lady down and tell her, I am not interested anymore. He's just toying with her emotions.
But
and the thing is, there are many men like that out there who are just out there to toy with the ladies' emotions.
I'll go with Collins.
I mean,
guy has shown we every way that this. I don't really want you as a wife.
When you keep her in your house,
see, I think
you sleep with her.
I think we should.
She cooks for you and you eat the food.
Abi?
She washes your clothes.
Like you said, I'm coming back to you.
I think we should empower our girls to know when
to go.
The game is off. When you say no, we know.
This lady is grown and she's even pursuing a master's degree.
Yeah. The man has said there's nothing. Why do you want to die there?
See, so I also don't want us to blame so much on the girl. I'm looking at what are those things that is making her to want to stick on to this boy.
Yeah, what are those things?
Those things.
What are those things?
Yes, those are the things we need to interact with her one-on-one. She didn't put it there. She just said that the man did this. What are those things?
No, she said she still loves that when
she still loved the man
that she
in
still
spite of everything.
Yeah, so what are those things? Why do you love this man?
We can't answer the question.
Yeah.
So I have a question. If you interact with me and he tells me,
I have a question.
Mommy,
is that love? When you
infatuation.
So it depends.
Is that love?
I cannot define love for her.
No, but generally, from what we have seen from the story, is it love?
That's not love.
I just want us to.
What is love?
Is that love?
That's not love.
What is love?
What is love? Love. I don't know how to define it.
Love is respect.
But then love is respect. Love is honesty. I'd say love is honesty
and respect.
She's obviously honest enough to admit that she still wants this guy, irrespective of the guy's irresponsible or honest attitude.
And the boy is also honest to say
he just changed and wished her luck in her next relationship. What's the guarantee that he's actually willing to let her go?
Let her go first.
What's the guarantee?
Let us not give an impression that it is normal for a girl to be beaten or to be dependent. Let us not create that impression. And I also don't want to create that impression to say that the man has that right to do that. To do that. But let's create an impression that when you are in a relationship and the relationship you are not comfortable with it, please stay apart. There is no law that says you must be in that relationship. And then you need to close your ears to say what is the expectation of the society and all that. Yes. Because that's most of the thing. Hey, how can they feel? I'm not so good. You know, she mentioned about I'm not very lucky in relationship. It means people will be counting it for her and all that. My sister, you mentioned about NGO. That's why people like us have been in existence for several years, talking to young people, both men, boys and girls. I have what I call the Rating Young Leadership Program for girls. And the issues we talk about is about relationship. What is the priority? What's your priority? When I meet the young people, I say, what's your priority? What's your value? What is it that will interest you in a man? Is it because he's tall, short, or he's wearing the things that are in vogue, or he's that, or whatever it is? What is it? If you don't know what is your own value, you can't find value in other person. So I think we should need to create that opportunity. And I have mentioned about social structures in the society that will help us to drive this. The church, the schools, you know, every other, you know, clubs around schools. You go to churches, you see vibrant youth with their energy and all that. Nobody is talking about relationship. We are just talking, oh, God is an angel and all that and all that. No, that's not the issue. The issue is that the relationship that exists between every one of us, how do we manage it? How do we deal with it?
Don't we need a national body like the National Council of Women's Society, Ministry of Women Affairs? Because back then, when Hilda Adefarasi, Emily Ike Imukwede, they were the pioneers of this. They were in the forefront, leading these national bodies. They did so much for women and young girls. So what has happened to the National Council of Women's Society and the Federal Ministry and the Ministry of Women Affairs now?
Politics has happened.
Thank you. I don't think I will speak further. We have left what we are supposed to be working on, and we are moving it. You are looking at, and I still talk about socialization. You know, when you socialize the boy that he cannot do house choice, and you think that it's only the girl that will do, there is bound to be conflict. Now they are jackpying. They go outside Nigeria. Do you understand? They go there, and it is the responsibility of both male and female if they must pay their bills. Yeah. And so each time, sometimes when I go outside the country and I'm in Mrs. Rose, I do a lot of counseling. Come and sit down. My wife is there. I say, okay, so what happened? Excuse me, ma. I don't cook in my father's house. That was your father's house.
You know, there's a trend over there now.
Yes.
No, because it's shared responsibility.
Killing their wife because they believe.
Men are washing.
Because they believe. So parents, raise your boys and girls in a way to empower them to be independent, irrespective of where they find themselves.
So how do we solve this problem?
So that's what a part of the things. I'm putting it across. I'm putting it across to say parents should learn to, you know, when you are raising the boy child, raise the boy child to be, because there's a unifying factor. All of us here can be hungry. Hunger is a unifying factor. Whether you are a king or a poor man, a rich person, or wherever you are a teacher, a professor, or whatever, you will be hungry. So how do you deal with that hunger? Then raise everybody to not to be dependent on the other. Yes. If you look at it, it's about dependency. I want to depend. I want to gain this from the boy is dependent on the girl. It might not be it might not be finance, but it's depending on the girl to be able to clean the house, do all the house chores. No, there's nothing wrong with you. So if we raise a generation of children who sees the other person first as a human being,
yes, I think that's
exactly
before you know whether she's a girl or a boy, we won't have issues.
I think that is the key.
So, but we have so put down this belief system. My forefathers, please go back to your forefathers and live with it.
So
you are talking more like a Gen Z.
Like so it's actually like
so I interact with Gen Z, and when I see them, I'm always I'll put down this issue of madam and this
and come down to their level.
You will be amazed how they relate with me. They will open up and said, excuse me, ma, if you know what he's talking about, if I go to school, even if you don't want to talk to me, I will find a way to say, this your dress is very fine. Has anybody ever tell you that you are beautiful? Say, excuse me, ma. Or has anybody ever told you are handsome? You know, those things.
You break down their defense.
So that defense, and who is this? Who is this? And of course, let me tell you, the internet is not helping matters. So there are a lot of garbage in and garbage out there. A lot of things that people think it is real. I have told myself, these kids making people, they need to put a little bit of
law.
There needs to be law that guides them. And then there's need for them to even put the human factor. It's not just about making money, getting the number of people who viewed or who do that.
Content.
What impact are you doing to the society, to the next generation? You go to a place, he's beating the guy. Yes, he loves me. There is a young girl of 15 years who is watching it and thinks that's what it is. It's not true. It's not true. So I think there is it's a whole lot of things. We need to look at a holistic thing. The church, the family, the society, the internet space, and all that. And I am using this program opportunity to tell the girls there, you can be who you want to be, irrespective of what the society is trying to design for you. You need to tell yourself, this is what I want to be. My sister, go and see girls who are on drugs, who are because they feel they are failure. They believe that they cannot meet it. So also is the men. Why are we having youth on the streets? Because people are getting out of them.
Yeah.
They're making hell of money out of them. They give them drugs and all that. You recently saw, I don't know, it's trendy now, a young boy of probably about 5 years doing bus conductor.
5 years.
5 years doing Oshodi where he was shouting Oshodi.
Child abuse.
No, we are talking in child abuse. And so the person took the time. And for me, that's what I want to see. Looking at the society and trying to put a solution. The guy followed that 5-year-old boy to see the mother sitting down and say, why would you be raising the number of children you cannot take care? Do you understand? Because the man has the tendency to have, in the 776 local government, you can have wives.
Abuse.
And nothing is wrong with it.
Yes.
And then you, woman, you cannot decide that, okay, since this is what, it's only 2 or 1. You are looking for a boy or a girl. What for?
Well, Moji.
Oh wow.
Well, I'll really, I like to say this to the lady. You know, you need, like Madam said, you need to have value. You need to value yourself. You need to sit down and think, what do you really want for yourself? What do you want for your own life? I think this lady lacks self-worth. Exactly, that is the major problem that she's got. Self-worth. You need to value yourself. Sit down, you know. Maybe you need to get, at least, you are enlightened. Get to see a therapist. Get to see, you know, maybe a counselor. Talk to the person so that you have your self-worth. Because a lot of girls are out there, and that is the problem. They lack self-worth. And it is not because of their own doing. It is because most parents too, parents don't show as much love as they ought to show to their children, both male and female. And for a girl child, you know, a girl child craves that love. And if it is not given, it's usually a problem. So anybody that shows one outside of, you know, I care for you, I love you, oh, that is it. She will follow. And that is where she says she still loves him.
Sometimes it's peer pressure.
So she needs to have lack of self-worth herself. Somebody is doing that to you, and you don't, because you don't have self-worth yourself. So please, so please sit down. I know that I don't know your background, but I believe that could be the problem. But you have to think about, will you live your life like this? If this guy ends his relationship, you enter into another one, the same thing happens again. So please, you need to develop self-worth for yourself.
I mean, we have all said a whole lot, but then we need to also encourage the lady to leave the guy's house. You can't be in that space and get your sanity back. No man would actually value you when you are in that space. I mean, it's not just possible. And she should understand that that guy was never in the relationship with her. She was in the relationship with the guy all along. The guy had just been using and stringing her along for his own, you know, gratifications, you know. And when he got tired, he just threw her out, you know. So she just has to tell herself the truth. There is nothing for her in that relationship anymore, and that's the hard truth. She should just leave, go out there, pick up the pieces. There are 1,001 people out there that are willing to show her the kind of love that she's looking for, and she can need to be in the space. I could be your counselor, you know. She can need to be in that space, you know. She wouldn't give the other people the opportunity to really show her that there are some good men out there.
Yeah. Okay, I will come back to you. So, Madam, your last word?
Okay, so I want to say that don't wait until somebody walk out on you. Don't wait. If you see the signs, and it's there, is glaring. Please move on. There's no reason for you to be get to a point where you will be depressed and you will not be able to be yourself before you take a move. So move on, my dear sister. And if you need to speak to a counselor, I'm sure you definitely get in touch, and then you'll be counseled.
Yes.
My dear, fine. You've heard. Give yourself value. Nobody will value you if you do not value yourself. There's an adage in our culture. It's only a person who knows the worth of kola nut that covers it. Cover yourself.
Yeah, deep go. Oh, deep go.
Value yourself. No man will validate you if you do not validate yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, madam, how do we thank you?
Yeah, it's been a great time.
It's been an amazing
Thank you so
time
much.
with you.
Really long.
Thank you very much for the value you have brought to this program.
Yeah, that's the word.
You know, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
For the fresh
perspective.
And for supporting Collins, but for being in his corner.
It goes to show that you can't separate who you are from your passion.
Yeah.
You know, I could see the passion in you as to how you want to better the society and really create a better world for the female child. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
God bless you. Wow. We've come to the end of another exciting edition of Insights with Agatha. Please leave your opinion on our comment section. Subscribe, like, and follow. Please. Thank you for allowing us once again to invade your space. Until next week, have a wonderful time.